the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
Good morning, some of our Teen Sports listeners. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in every single Tuesday. This whole hour is out of our teen athletes. And all those people and businesses that support those teen athletes. Well, I am so well rested, I got to say. Dominique, you look so nice and tan. You're so rested. Look at those. Look.
Back from Cancun.
That's it. I slept. When I landed, I slept. The nice thing about going on vacation is it takes another day just to get, grounded. And the most beautiful thing about my vacation is, I don't care what you want to say. I don't want to bang on AT&T, but let's bang on them. I don't care where I go. I leave the country, forget it. That AT&T, what do you have? What service?
I have Sprint.
Yeah, you never have problems with Sprint, ever.
My mom had Verizon. So.
Never had any problems with
Sprint. Yeah.
AT&T. I think it's just me. I'm supposed to go on vacation. When I vacation,
there was a setting that we were supposed to click.
Whatever. It didn't work. And I stopped fighting after day 2, and I'm like, I'm not supposed to have a phone. And it didn't bother me, did
Perfect.
it?
Nope.
I didn't use my phone.
Unplugged.
That's it. Completely unplugged. But I got to say, I'm not even worried about the economy. You could always tell when you're on vacation. When you see another country thrive, right? There's building, there's happy faces, because we're unplugged anyway, right?
We were in a really nice place, Playa del Carmen.
Yeah. But there's a lot, there's people from all over the world there. Everybody's happy. The kids are happy. People spending money. I'm not worried about the economy. You? I'm not. I'm really not.
That's really a good thing to hear from you. I'm glad I'm hearing this from you right now.
I'm just not. I'm really
glad to hear that because usually you're concerned.
I'm not worried about it. I'm really not. People spending money. People are tipping. People are happy because we talk to everybody. I talk to everybody. I do.
No.
I do.
No.
We did all the tours.
You know what Sean says? That I'll talk to a wall. I'll talk to a wall if I had to.
Well, I talked to everybody, right? We did all the tours, and we were the only Americans on every tour. We got lucky. We hit all the tours. They had people from all over the world.
Londoners, people from
Argentina, Brazil. Yeah.
Japan.
And nobody banged on me, too. You figured I was just going to get banged on. And nobody even banged on it. It was really nice. because everybody wanted to be on vacation.
Yeah, very relaxed.
Very relaxed. It was amazing. Well, until we went into the cave. Then I was...
The cenotes.
Yeah. Yeah, I fell. You want to see my foot? Yeah.
I think you fell hard.
Yeah,
and then to hear about the bug that you were trying to kill or rescue, I don't know what you were trying to do with that bug, but that bug left
Anybody
a mark.
wants to go in the cave, they want to go with me because I always bring up stories because there's 6 of us, right? And first of all, cave smell, I don't know what it is about me because you got the bats.
So this was an underground cave, freshwater underground cave.
Well, Dominique is with the tour guide. She just go barefoot. I tried barefoot for one step. And I'm like, oh, no, that's not going to work. I get a pedicure religiously, every 2 weeks. I don't have anything on the bottom of my feet. So when I took one step in that jungle, first of all, I didn't have the proper footing, right? I didn't have the proper shoes. I had flip-flops. That wasn't the right shoe, okay? So as soon as
I can't believe the tour guide let you go on this with
Well, she had bare feet. She probably looked at me and loved it. She said, this is the person that's going to fall, okay? And she, I don't know, and I was the one that didn't stop talking the whole time.
I have to say, it was very graceful. You went down and back up again very fast.
Well, I still have some skills, I got this. That's all you heard. Bam, up. And it was because I helped somebody else. They had this huge thing. I don't know. It had to be about as big as
I think it was a large ant, but it was a very large
They got big ants.
She made it sound like it was a scarab. Like it had a big wide shell and it was colorful.
You saw it from 2 people back. You didn't even say it. And I just said,
it was a large ant. This is what we find out from Dominique.
It was as big as my finger. At first,
is that like the fish story? I caught a fish this big.
Yeah. Dominique, was that a big thing?
It was a large ant. And the other person whose back it was on was very grateful that Erica was willing to swipe it off.
Yeah. I heard something when it hit the wall. That's all I know. Okay? It was pretty big.
But in the middle of the swipe, with the light of the helmet on the bug, the light was not on the rock. And so Erica's foot took out the rock.
Right. And the rock won. No. Okay? Because my foot and my toes are
and
pretty
I'm very appreciative because if you wouldn't have tripped, I would have.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. I showed her. I showed her to don't hit that rock.
That's true.
Yeah, I did. I took a rock for the team. That was really good.
I have to recommend to people, when you're going through a very dark cave with a light on your helmet and a couple of people in front of you, you don't mention that scary movie.
Yeah. Yeah, do you ever see the Python movie, when that, do you see the cave the creature goes through?
It eats the people.
It eats the people.
Why would you even bring that up?
It was awesome.
I would have been horrified.
It was awesome. Especially when I start splashing the water. Oh, yeah, it was
Erica's
awesome.
laughter was echoing in the cave.
Oh, yeah. That was with me, because I was in the back. Just saying. And I started shining my light over here to the right.
That's evil.
I know it was. I go, Dominique, you see that splash over there to the right? It was awesome.
But it's amazing. There are many places on our planet that are unique to that place.
Right.
So in the Cancun, am I saying it right? Cenotes? Mm-hmm. Cenotes. It is literally coral rock that has been underground for thousands of years. And now the land lifted and it's become an underwater cavern, but it's unique fossilized previous coral reef. So it's unique. There's no other place on the planet that has underground caverns just like those.
It predates Jesus and the whole thing. So, they're just like, hello, people, let's go.
So we visited Tulum, which is a Mayan sacred city that was one of the last cities built by the Mayan civilization.
And they lived over 150 years.
Yeah, and they were timekeepers. That was what made the royal Mayans unique from the other Mayans locating in that area, is that they held the knowledge of calendars and
time. Was it longer than the Romans, their empire?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
They also had a great real estate agent who got them a great location.
As they beamed down.
Location.
I'm just saying. Oh, depends how as long as it depends how you map the world. Dominique's line was the best one. Hey, anybody, she says that we got, I don't know how many. She draws a crowd. I don't know if you know. Everyone thinks I draw a crowd. Maybe I'm a beacon, okay? But she always has these one-liners, and I don't even know how we were talking about it. We were talking about...
Well, Erica mentioned beaming down.
Yeah, beaming down, right? And she goes, hey, come on, guys. If everybody wants to talk about ETs, let's just all look in the mirror. Oh, everyone just starts dying. That was a good one. I mean, you had the pause and then the chuckle. You know what I mean?
Think about it, huh?
Yeah, you had to all start thinking about it and then the chuckle.
I thought you were going to say that she draws everyone not by her one-liners but by all her information. Whenever Dominique speaks, I'm like this. Wow.
She reads.
Really? Wow.
Non-stop read. Well, she's got
non-stop information coming out of her.
Well, a theosophist, what's
it's interesting information, though.
Yeah.
It's not.
My grandparents read. They were lifelong learners. My grandmother only made it to 8th grade because she was part of a family of 13 kids and she had to go work in the fields. So my family history was education, especially as a woman. Education is your greatest opportunity and your greatest possession. No one can take your education from you.
So true. So true.
Absolutely.
Well, just real quick, because I don't even know when we were with our group, we had this group and then we all kind of stuck together because, it was really weird. We meet this group on day 2 and even after.
You bond with people.
Yeah, we did. So we just had this great group and from 4 different countries and we didn't want to leave each other, right? So when the Brits, especially the Brits, and they were beautiful people, shout out to them. And they were like, so theosophy, Dominique, quickly, what is a theosophist?
Okay. You were good
real
there.
quick.
Okay, real quick. It's kind of an old term that was put together, coined. Theo, it stands for God, and Sophia means wisdom. And the idea is that there is an ancient body of knowledge and wisdom that is the right of every human being. So whether you approach wisdom through Christianity, whether you approach it through Buddhism, Taoism, Zoroastrianism, Islam, doesn't matter. Whether you're an atheist, doesn't matter. There is a body of wisdom about having this human experience, and that is the birthright of every human being.
That's it. It's everything. I just say that and say, oh.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do, of course, on my program, is have people from all different corners of these different beliefs. I just finished interviewing just the other day a Sufi who shared with me what Sufism is. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have to listen to the interview. But I've had, of course, people from Catholicism and fundamentalist evangelical Christianity, Muslims. I had Scientologists on. I've had other people. But the thing is that I learned so much about how, I'm sure, Dominique, you'd attest to this, how interconnected they all are. They have that golden thread, as they talk about, that is woven through all of them.
Yeah, and you can base it on the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Super simple, super simple.
Before we go to break, I want to talk to my boy here, Anthony Rodriguez. Listen, we did a walk, and Teen Sports Radio was out there with you, and I want to. You're doing so much good work in the community, and I apologize for not being there present. I promised you, but you know how busy we were, and I appreciate your support and what we're doing as well with. What Dominique is doing. We'll get to that after we tell us how well that went with the walk.
The walk actually was it was better than I expected, to be honest with you. It was a very tough week. Leading up to that, there was several attempts, and 2 nights prior to the walk, actually, I had to hospitalize one of the students, and then. Another organization that actually worked with them directly after myself, she just called me to tell me that, Anthony, you know what, you just saved this kid's life because he had this planned out, and you literally saved his life by calling. And so that kind of threw me for a loop, just with everything going on, when it comes to, suicide and stuff. And, things were happening during that day. Some gentleman, I guess he read the story that was in the Santa Barbara Independent, and he just came up to me and said, your name is Anthony, right? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, I came specifically for you. And I said, well, what are you talking about? I'm not understanding what you're trying to tell me, but what is it? And he said, I read your story in the Santa Barbara Independent, and I want to give you a blessing before you walk. And I was like, a blessing? And he goes, yeah, a Chumash blessing. And
that's very special.
I said, me? And he said, yeah. He goes, I read your story. He goes, and it really hit me. So I came just to give you a blessing if you give me that honor. And I was like, no, it's going to be an honor for me, So he gave me that blessing, and I just, after that, I just asked him if I could give him a hug, and he said, yeah. And I said, are you going to be okay? And he said, yeah. He goes, just so you know, my dad died by suicide 2 years ago. And I it's hard for me to give back, but I wanted to give this to you. So, I mean, it was a huge honor. And then I spoke, and, it was very, very touching to see all those families, especially some of the families that had lost somebody to suicide when I started my team, the Santa Barbara Response Network. Mm-hmm. And that was back in 2009. It was the first time they attended. So it was a very touching event. And, it's just an amazing event, and blessed that a lot of people were able to go. We had over 400 people attend this walk, and it's growing.
That's really special, because based on how you map the world, a blessing like that is a blessing from the ancestors. Mm-hmm. So the idea is that all the combined love of all the people who have gone before us is ever present in our heart, and that they are wanting to help us have a beautiful human experience.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was an honor, a complete honor. And several people were coming out to me and say, hey, do you remember me? And I was like, kind of, I was like, well, I had a brain aneurysm, so my mind, I'm still trying to remember people. And they're like, no, we just came for you because we heard you talk several years ago and we wanted to come back. So it was really a humbling experience for me, without a doubt, and gave me more motivation to keep on pushing harder and trying to make that difference and hopefully end suicide.
Yeah, it's a one person at a time activity, and it's really about having the sense of timing to be authentic and present for someone and witness their journey.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was definitely a touching experience.
Anthony, we love you.
I love you too very much.
Let's take a break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with a lot more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
Well, my friend, she's like my sister almost. Kind of sisterly. Why are your eyes all watery? I know, you and me both stop. You can't do that.
Going on in our community, because I've lost one of my friends' children committed suicide, and I lost 2 friends this year to suicide. And it's so in our community and in our lives, right in our faces. So what you're doing is absolutely amazing, and I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
So I thank you.
Well, Angela Miller Bevan, you're doing a tremendous job in the community as well.
Thank you.
So
Erica's my soul sister.
It's true. Well, it's true. Well, you are. I mean, we've had a connection since day one. I remember just meeting you outside of the 8th grade, like from day one. So.
And we've been friends ever since. We won't tell you how long ago 8th grade was. It wasn't our 8th grade.
Exactly. It's true. Could have been another dimension. Oh, let's not go there. We were beamed down into another dimension, and that's where we were. Well, you don't know. Portals are all over the place. Let's talk about you for a little bit before you introduce our guests. I mean, you do so much in this community, and I always like to, support one, but let's talk about you a little bit. You graduated from Santa Barbara High, once a Don, always Don. You got to go there.
I bleed. Green and gold, baby.
That's it.
Green and gold.
Have you been out to the stadium?
Pit?
Yeah. Is it a pit?
I don't know what's going on out there.
Serious?
My girlfriend lives like right next to it, and I went to pick her up the other day, and I was like, whoa. Hey. Yeah. And then we went to a concert. And I looked over and I'm like, wow.
So it's not going to be open in April, May?
I don't know. I'm not a contractor, right. And I haven't heard anything from the alumni. Okay. So I've heard different stories that they're trying to get more money.
Okay.
Which is usually what always goes on with construction.
Right. What's the date it's supposed to open?
It was sometime in April. I think it was supposed to be, but I'm not a contractor, and I've never built a stadium, so I have to say I'm not an expert on this. And I'm sure that they're all working very hard out there and working hard to raise money. But I do know that we are still raising money currently for that project, and it will happen.
Sure, it will.
So
Jackson's 11, and he's in 6th grade. So I'm hoping by the time he graduates, he actually gets to walk down the hill.
So Santa Barbara High is raising money by you can sponsor a seat. Or
yes,
you can. Yeah. You can sponsor a seat, and the alumni can help you with that. You can also just call Santa Barbara High if anybody's interested in being involved.
And
in
the
that.
website too. They've
got
the
website.
Donation.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
So Santa Barbara. I went to Santa Barbara High. I went to Roosevelt, where my 6th grader is, and I went to City College. I didn't get away from this town for very long. It kind of pulled me back.
You do a lot with Spanish Days, Old Spanish.
I'm currently the treasurer for Old Spanish Days.
Okay.
So we just finished an awesome fiesta, and we're in the process of wrapping up everything for that. There will be another fiesta next year.
Okay.
You're going to laugh, but for people who've never taken on a community job, like being a treasurer and so forth, what are some of the activities that you have to do as holding that kind of position for our community?
It really depends on the organization. Old Spanish Days, I think, is one of the largest organizations that doesn't have an acting executive director. So it's a lot more responsibility with Old Spanish Days. Most of the nonprofits in town have executive directors. So as the treasurer, you're really just overseeing financials and P&Ls. For Old Spanish Days, I'm a little more hands-on. We do have an office manager and a bookkeeper. So they really do a lot of it, but I do all the budgeting with the different committees. It's a very large organization. We have a very large board. So we have a lot of committees and a lot of budgeting that goes into that. So there's a lot more hands-on. But being a treasurer for another organization, like our PTA or something like that, you're writing checks and you're paying things and doing budgeting, but I think it's on a smaller scale. So it just
Carriage House, you still with them?
I am currently the only female on the Carriage Museum board.
Whoa!
Yes, it's a very
joy.
Interesting. I sit on both boards because I'm the liaison between the two organizations. It's in their bylaws because they they sit under the same roof. So they have to have a liaison. So I act as that.
Do you ever go home?
My real job is with the American Heart Association, which I was hoping you were going to ask about.
Well, you were getting to it.
I am very involved in this community, but it's because I believe in this community. And I believe strongly in creating a community that both my children can grow up in and be safe in and live in and be happy in. And I've been fortunate enough to I have a 24-year-old, so I've done high school with him at Bishop, and I've done and now City College with him. The younger one who now plays sports, which I'm so excited because his football coach is here with us today.
Yay!
And he, he gets to grow up and experience all these different things that I don't think a lot of kids in the world get to experience. And so I feel like it's important for all of us to give back our time to make sure that we continue to create that community.
All right. I'll actually be presenting at Bishop on October 10th.
Oh, yeah?
He's not with Bishop. He's FNL. So
okay. A different Bishop.
Yeah, they're not quite to Bishop yet. No. They're not to high school level, but this is FNL, and John Roesler is with me today. And
where's Jack's going to go to high school?
Santa Barbara High.
I was wondering. I might as well put that out there now.
I know she's pushing for Bishop. It's been hard because everybody wants him to go to Bishop, but his friends are all going to Santa Barbara High, so there's a pull.
Right.
It's a strong pull.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So John Roesler is his FNL coach, but also Erica has been so kind. Teen Sport Radio sponsored Jackson's FNL team this year for his team, the Texans.
Okay.
So John Roesler came by to present you with an award for...
This is for Teen Sports Radio.
This is for Teen Sports Radio.
Yay. Wow.
So for those of you that can't see it, we will actually take a photo and put it up on social media.
Yes.
But it is a photo of the kids made a big sign, and they signed it with their little signatures and their numbers.
We'll have to all find it because we'll share it.
And
we'll just put it in everybody's little office.
And then
it'll be a pass around.
But it's a thank you because organizations like Teen Sports Radio and other businesses in town, please, for all the small businesses and even large businesses, take the opportunity to sponsor a sports team because they need it, and it keeps them off the streets and it keeps it safe. And so it's important for when some of these kids come out and ask you to sponsor. It's not a huge sponsorship, but it sure doesn't make
We're going to start the first month in Les's office. We're just going to rotate it around. Okay. We're going to put the first month in Les's office. The first month. We're going to share it.
He gets to enjoy the picture. Oh, that's beautiful.
It's all signed.
So did we want to let John say anything?
Of course, he's the coach. Okay, so, all right, not that it matters. Are we undefeated?
We are.
Yes! Certainly. Oh, I love that. Not that it matters. As long as my kids are having a good time.
Yeah, no, having fun is
and they're
arguably
undefeated.
The most important thing.
And they're undefeated. Not that it minds.
And
not that it matters. We don't care that. We don't, but there's a 0 after the first number /0, right?
There is.
Of course.
There is. They're doing well. They're having fun.
Nice.
It's, I think, probably one of the better programs out there because it lets the kids pick who they want to play with.
We had the guy when they first came up here. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We had the guy.
Ted.
Did you bring them up?
They had Ted.
You brought him up.
Yeah.
Oh, good job. Of course you did. Yeah, I remember when they came up and they started the program. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Ted and Evan are awesome. They do a really
Great.
good job.
How many teams are in the whole program?
That's a really good question. This age group, which is the 5th and 6th grade, is the largest. So we've got 2 separate divisions.
Beautiful.
Probably 18 teams.
Fantastic. Okay, we're going to get a little bit more detail. We have to take a little break, but it'll be a fast break. Okay, because you're not leaving anyway. You said I saw you texting because I said you're not leaving. All right. That means we're going to fill it. Everybody get some more coffee. We'll be right.
Juice.
Or juice or water. Fantastic. Take a little break. Erica Salda, the Queen of the Team. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in every single Tuesday. All right, I'm going to pass you the mic because let's go down the line here. I want to know about my boys. Hold on.
So I was just, while we were off the air, we were kind of chit-chatting, but we were talking about how, John, tell us how the teams come about.
So most of the youth sports in the area, the teams are either there's a draft or there's some type of pick that goes in or tryouts and so forth. And this is a unique event where the kids can say who they want to play with, along with the coach and so forth. And so Ted and Evan has set it up where we can send in ahead of time, hey, this is who we want to play with. This is the number of people that we've got. They try really hard to keep it at 8 kids. When you get more than that, some of them are sitting out a lot longer than is probably appropriate. But I think that helps with the engagement, and they love it. They're smiling. Watching them practice ahead of time, getting ready for the games is It's awesome.
It's like creating a mini little neighborhood.
It is. It is.
It's Friday night. It's Friday Night Lights, and it's because it's on Friday nights. And I know people that their kids have graduated from high school and they're back down at Friday Night Lights with the rest of us because it's so much fun. Like there's kids down there, there's families, and it brings everyone together on a Friday night, which is awesome.
Football in the U.S. is a very unique thing, and so all the sports are great. They get them out. They learn different things. They learn how to operate within a team and follow or lead, depending on what it is. Soccer, baseball, football, basketball, water polo, you name it. This is different. When you watch the kids play and when you watch the parents and the people on the sidelines, they're really, really genuinely excited, and it's more of an event for people to go to. They go out afterwards. It's really something. The kids, we try and get them to wear their jerseys on Friday
to school.
A little team spirit, and I think it's great. We're all busy. We all have a lot of things and a lot of extra commitments in life, but I think this is one of the things that I certainly really think is worthwhile in doing. And watching them grow and having the same kids play year after year has been really cool, and getting them to see how much they've improved and grown together.
You know, when I coached, I did the same thing at St. Raphael's, and I started when they were in kinder class, and I had 2 sons, so I did 4th grade to 8th grade. So I was blessed because the bigger one's younger brother was 3 years difference. So what do you think I did? I just let the siblings stay. So by the time I brought up the little one, and I don't know how it happened, it was just luck of the draw, I'd say 80% of the big boys team had the younger siblings at St. Raphael's. So by the time the younger kids came, and when they were 4 years old, they knew how to do a full court press. Mm-hmm. I'm kidding. It was
in their DNA.
It was just domination. So the first
learning through osmosis.
Totally. So they tried to break me up, right? And I'm not kidding you. So kinder class, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. It wasn't until the championship game at 6th grade they lost their first game.
Wow.
It was crush, kill, destroy. Now, I didn't do it on purpose, so they tried to keep changing the rules. You know, you can't practice more than 3 days a week. We practiced 7 days a week because it was just what it was. I was daycare. So I had 2 attorneys get the teams, right? And so they kept changing the rules.
Yeah.
So, and I had food allergies and everything. So I used to, because I was a single mom, so, I had a Lincoln Navigator, and I used to bring, so I could fit 7 kids in one car. So then I used to drive them home. So every time they tried to break me up, I'd have, here's their food allergies. So if you want to coach my kids, fine. This person has lactase intolerance, because you got to give kids snacks.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
We had Superman juice. Think about what you're doing. So I just said, here, if you want to draft or break up, so what I'm trying to say is the only way to build a community, especially when you're at Catholic school, right, is to do it this way.
Have the kids involved.
Yes, and then you bring in the families and everything. And when John comes home on Sunday, everybody knows right now. So you watch. Austin will find out. It's on social media. This is the only way to do it. This whole breaking up. Yeah, they travel. The whole breaking up and drafting and all this to try to leaven out the team. If you're going to be a parent like you and to put in the work and to form this community, I mean, come on, you're doing all the work.
Well, the nice thing is the kids get to learn that their opinion has a difference on their experience in the world.
Right.
Because that is the hardest thing that I have to deal with kids, where they'll experience some sort of inequity at school or something, mm-hmm. and then they feel like they have no effect on the world and they just have to suffer through it. So by this team experience, you're teaching them, no, your opinion matters and you can affect your experience.
Right. And it's a great, the one thing I did want to say really quick is just that FNL is flag football, so there's no tackle, there's none of that. It's such a great experience for them to be out there working out, running, playing a game, and it's just fair, and it's a great experience.
And it's co-ed, right?
Right.
It is.
Girls, yeah.
It is. It's especially with the younger age groups. I think some of the girls are actually outplaying the boys.
That's that 2-year maturity thing. That's why they're taller, they're bigger, they're everything. Smarter.
And then, when they played in high school, they still had that, community. And even when Austin played, and it didn't matter, I feel, that on skill sets because everybody has to play. So how I managed it, so Austin felt a part of it, is I'm like, okay, because I've always budget money and I'm a gift giver because in my occupation, it's very driven by gifts. And I'm like, oh, okay. So to ensure that Austin got the ball, I said, something, blenders for the team if Austin makes a basket. Right?
So
did I not?
No.
Swear, did I not?
Austin was like,
Right.
I love this.
Right. Did I not? Ask Austin when he made it, right?
I hope he's listening.
It's
right.
true.
Erica
Ask
just
him.
said you're not very good at
No, he caught up.
He did catch up.
The only way you're going to
I
catch
get
up
texts.
is if you get the ball.
I get texts from my sixth grader before Dad, are you coming early? Are you bringing treats?
Yeah.
Everybody's asking for popsicles.
Right.
Yeah, we what's in it for us, Dad?
Exactly.
We're gonna
They
run.
should be motivated.
You're just gonna sit there and tell us,
But I'm
a few
saying,
things.
and I'm saying,
Do something.
The guys would drive, just like, come on, Austin, make it. If you miss it, it's okay. I got the ball. Come on, Austin. And that's all they want is blenders. I mean, what drives the ball? Milkshake.
Right now, what would it be? Skins on Fortnite?
Yeah, it would be skins on Fortnite. It's like the other good thing is that John is a great coach, but these kids have been on this team, and some of them have known each other since they were 2. And they're in 6th grade going into junior high. What a great support and community that is for those kids to enter into that big time in their life with a crew that they can depend on.
Right now, that's, in my opinion, that's the entire point of sports. It is to create that sense of community, the sense of knowing how to lead, knowing how to follow, when is appropriate to do each, how to be flexible.
Well, Petrini's is one of our, I'd say they're Teen Sports Radio's corporate little deal. So Dominique is looking at me. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Okay, well, of course, if they win, we support championships. So, of course, Teen Sports Radio would do the pizza. How many kids you got on the team? Let's be
8.
careful. 8.
14.
But they all have little siblings.
I know, right? Right? You got to do what? Pizza?
Are you going to give a donation to their pizza night?
Yeah, no, I'll do the pizza night, but they got kids and grandparents. So how many lineages are we going up?
Well, this is Santa Barbara. It's a rather close community. There'll probably be 80 of us there.
80?
No, I'm kidding.
How many? What do we got? Could put a cap on it? We'll do like what? $400?
Yeah.
We'll do a $400 pizza night.
There we go.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not. Yeah. We'll do $400 pizza night.
We right now, these kids owe their team and their smiles that are on this picture to what you guys have allowed to happen.
Okay, but you guys drink beer or whatever, but we'll cool right on the beer. Gotta do Uber, so we'll do $400 for, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting you for like $100.
Yes, we can do that.
Okay, all right, yeah, okay, good. $400, right? Yep. All right, yeah, shake.
On behalf of the Texans,
there you go.
We are.
You better win.
Very grateful. Yeah, no pressure.
That's right. That's right. Okay, if you want me to sponsor you next year. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
We got 2 more years to go. We got 2 more years to go.
Okay, I want everybody to have a good time. Seriously, let's take a break. It's Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in every single Tuesday. All right, where are we going to go now? Like everybody's all happy.
How about the importance of supporting kids in sports? Because not only are you generating a community with the kids, you're giving them an opportunity to learn skills they can't really learn anywhere else, but you're also creating community with people. So get to know your neighbors, help your kids have a great time, help them be more successful in school, support a local team, find somebody, get involved.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's the key right here is that there are also so many kids in town that can't afford to play, and there's scholarships and there's all kinds of ways that you can get involved with, FNL, Boys and Girls Club, Page Youth Center, PAL, all these things, and bringing it back to, what we were talking about suicide. It's like peer pressure, bullying, all these things that sports really teaches these kids how to get away from that kind of thing, how to be on a team, how to be a friend, how to, support the people around you.
And it's a lot different than interacting on social media. Having that one-on-one face, eye contact, you're seen and you're seeing, it's a totally different experience.
Right.
There's a part to this which you watch the kids through their practices and so forth, and they get a chance in a safe environment to make mistakes over and over and over, and then after a while they start to get better and they get their confidence built up and they get to see, I can. Instead of I can't, it's I can. I did. And that will carry them into other areas of their schoolwork or in that new environment in junior high, where you've got a whole group of kids that you don't know yet and you're trying to find your place to it.
Yeah, you're trying to find your place. I mean, that's, in this day and age, and some of those issues come up from social media and from things like Fortnite. That it's getting, sports gets these kids out of the house. It gets them, out there learning about what they can do.
And it generates a we society, We make it. We as a team.
Mm-hmm. It's always, that's the one conversation that we have with Jackson a lot, and we have over the years. It's like, you're part of a team. It's not about just you. It's about the other people on the team. You guys have to work together to make it happen. So if somebody's not getting it, or you need to support them and encourage them and, continue to move on. And that's why I really like FNL, because it is a great sport, and the dads that are coaches do come out and, they take the time to teach them and guide them on how to be good coaches and how to be there for these kids. And they do make mistakes. John has to.
I think, Dominique, you were talking earlier about, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and that's a great environment where you get immediate feedback that if you've done something and that may not be necessarily the best thing to one of your teammates, expect it to come back. So, be conscientious
of that. Nothing like football for quick karma.
Yeah.
It's very true. Very true. Yeah. So we have our game this week at 5:30 at the fields at La Colina, which we're so grateful that La Colina has continued to let us play there. We've had some neighbors that don't really appreciate the noise at the La Colina, so we would encourage all those neighbors to come out and have fun with us. So we have to shut it down a lot earlier now, which so our games are all a lot earlier. But I'm encouraging everyone to come out. It's really fun. It's really fun to watch. So you should be there.
Aw. That's beautiful.
Aw, 5:30. Fridays has just gotten so packed. But you see that we take students. We have Bishop students, and this is their senior year. So it's just been. I know. I could say I could bring them.
Bring them.
I could bring them. They might like Chinese or American football. The Chinese are Chinese.
It's about
students.
an hour, and it's not really.
I don't
even
bad.
know if it's a full hour by the time you get done with it.
Yeah.
And
I think we should bring them one time.
Absolutely.
And see if they like it.
Absolutely.
I think this was part of their American experience.
I love it.
Without their phones. They just each bought when before we left. The cutest thing actually. They brought in these gigantic boxes about half the size of the door. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's for homework.
Yeah, they said it's for homework, and then all of a sudden
Erica turned her head sideways and read gaming computer.
Yeah. It's like Star Wars in each one of their rooms. And I just told them, I said, if they can get through last year with everything that we experienced last year, right? They pretty much missed a month of school.
The fire, the
flood, and everything. And it was like our house was a rescue house. Dogs, animals. We didn't have a llama, but we had a goat. I rescued everything last year. I actually slept 2 nights on my pool table. I really did. So if they get through last year, I was just going to be really, because you know how Bishop is in junior year. It's,
very difficult.
Right. So I said, if you can get through last year with everything, especially as involved as Dominique and I in the community, I was going to really lay off. And I am. If you as long
they've
as...
been really good for John that hasn't been here. They have exchange students, and they are they've done amazing work with them.
I'm like her. I'm a helicopter mom. And like you're my
really
kid.
Fortunate.
Like you are my son. Like I actually open up in the garage and we go in there to battle. And then I close the garage. And I've been in therapy. No, I'm not lying. I tell people the truth. If you don't want to hear it, you're going to hear it anyway.
You go through that experience with anyone moving from young adult into growing into an adult. Yeah. You have to do, it's relationship. It's about building relationships, finding your voice, being authentic, and going through experiences.
Yeah, I was his lead advisor about 4,000 years ago. I mapped the world a little different. And then, and that's why we're together.
When they beamed down.
Well, seriously. And then he didn't listen to me then, and he's not going to listen to me now. And I just said, I had so...
I just think it's so brave of you, because after we went through raising our other children, and now Jackson, I'm raising Jackson, and you're raising these kids, I'm like, what is wrong with that?
And then over the summer, I swore we weren't going to have any, but then they called me. These people just know of art, and I just feel, you know what it is?
It's
when
love.
You have empty rooms.
It is love.
Community.
When you have empty rooms, and there's such a need, and I love kids.
And it's also a global experience.
Yeah, you can't have empty rooms and not share them.
So open your hearts and open your doors, everyone.
And I just put it out into the into the universe.
I want exchange students so bad, and Sean's like, we still have these two.
Yeah,
but when they go, we want new kids. Okay.
I don't know. All right, we gotta go. This is Erica Salda. We'll take a little break. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
All right, let's start plugging. I'm going to start plugging American Heart Association. What do we got going on?
American Heart Association is doing awesome right now. We just finished up our Heart Walk, which was down at Cabrillo Boulevard, and it was great. There were so many attendees. That's more money that's going to research and saving lives right in our own area. We have a lot of exciting things going on coming up after the holidays. Our Go Red Luncheon, our Go Red Movement, which is just all about saving people from cardiac disease and stroke. I just feel really blessed to be a part of this movement, because every day we raise money that helps save lives. And we have one survivor I'm working with right now on their video, and his name is Ben Blankenhorn. He's 17, San Marcos student, was saved by CPR 5 times at San Marcos High School right after basketball practice. Had a heart condition that he went down to UCLA, had surgery. He ended up going to CIF Champions last year. Wow. So he is going to be our survivor speaker, and he's going to be doing a lot of engagements with me, speaking engagements. We're working on his video right now that's going to be plugged all over social media. So we're just continuing the fight against cardiovascular disease. And for those of you that don't know, my oldest son, Austin, has an aortic systolic valve that will have to be replaced. And because of research, they won't have to crack his chest open. They'll be able to do a non-invasive surgery. So that's really what American Heart Association is about fighting for that. So get involved.
I wanted to invite people to Our Lady of Guadalupe trunk or treat that they will be having an event on October 31st for Halloween. And anybody that's interested in bringing their car and getting it all nice and tricked out for Halloween, they can go ahead and call the office at 965-4060. And then another event that's coming up on November 3rd is Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, at the Goleta Valley Community Center. And you will be able to, we're going to have a lot of prizes there, food trucks, and a lot of different events for the kids and students. Also at Our Lady, at Goleta Valley Community Center, we still are working on the wall on the project, on the mural project that we're trying to get done, which is called the Heart of Goleta, El Corazón de Goleta. And this is basically from the Goleta Valley Community Center that we would really like to make this mural, this one wall that was very ugly before, but we want to make something that will stand and represent the city of Goleta. So you can actually go ahead and call the community center at 805-967-1367, and Also, there is a community emergency response team training coming up in October, and it's 3 days, and you will learn how to prepare for disasters, use a fire extinguisher, know how to do search and rescue and medical disasters, and maybe if you want, help out during a disaster like we did for the Thomas Fire and the debris flow. The classes are free, and it is you can go ahead and reach me at 805-961 Oops, I forgot my number. 805-331-4136. And again, the classes are for free, or you can go on to the Goleta Prepare Now website at the city of Goleta and pick up an application and just mail it in.
What are those dates again?
It is it's the first 3 Saturdays of October, so it will be October 6th. And
no worries, first 3 Saturdays.
And then what's the time on that? Like, what's the time commitment?
It's basically 21 hours. It's 21 hours, and you literally get hands-on training, the full-on exercise at the end, and you get a certificate. And it's a program from FEMA, and like I said, it's free. You get a backpack.
Highly recommend it.
And 7 hours a day for 3 Saturdays.
That is correct. And let me tell you, those skills are lifelong lesson skills that you get, and we even have Teen Cert. So we do that at the high schools too.
That's amazing.
And it's you can take that certificate throughout the 50 states, even including China and Chile, because they've actually picked it up. And our county is the one that actually started the Spanish cert. So we're very, very lucky to have some really good.
Give me your phone number, 331.
It's 805-331-4136.
Great.
And then you can get again the application on the City of Goleta website.
Awesome. Put your hands together. Woo! Hey, first 3 Saturdays. Hey, take advantage of that. Anything that's free, that's a call out. Santa Barbara, we love you. See you next week. God bless.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.